What's up guys, my name is Jack, you're watching JBTCG, and today we're ranking the investability of every single English Sword and Shield booster box. Not if you invested on release, that's boring, we already know the answer to that, it's Evolving Skies. If you put your money into these sets today, and I guarantee you the top set will surprise you. If you're new here and you watch this video and you're like, yo, he might be onto something here, drop a sub, we're almost at 500, and after that we're going to push to 1,000. Alright, with all the self-promo garbage out of the way, let me explain exactly how I'm ranking these. To calculate our value ratio and investability ratio, we take the sum of the top 7 hits. I chose 7 instead of 5 just to give it some more depth because certain sets like Chilling Reign just have more depth than others and I didn't want that to be ignored. So we take the sum of those top 7 hits and divide it by the booster box price. Really simple, but I promise you it's very effective. And the general concept behind this is fairly simple. The value of a booster box is heavily dependent on the value of the top chase cards. So a set with 0 chase cards will generally have a cheaper box, especially as time goes on. And we know that's true because if we take a look at sets like Team Up with huge chase cards like the Latios and Latias GX at $835, that box is incredibly expensive, valued at $2,300. And then if we look at sets that are still good but don't have quite that chase, like Sun and Moon Unified Minds, we have Misty's Favor as a top chase card at $190. Still respectable, but it's not $800. And the booster box price reflects that. Its value is $688. Alright, with all the background info out of the way, let's get into our list. So, I'm sure you can guess what last place is. Just take 3 seconds, think about it. What is the worst set from the Sword and Shield era? Got it? Well, based off of this, it's Darkness Ablaze, with a value ratio or investability ratio of 0.43, which that 0.43 value may mean nothing to you, but the sets we're going to see towards the end have much higher value ratios. So the box price is $150, the top hit is $22, and then there's a couple $9, $8, $7 cards. Very low value. If you open up this box and you got every single of the top 7 hits, that would be $65. Pretty much worthless. And because of that, it's ranked number 12, and in my opinion, is the worst investment you can make in the Sword and Shield era. Number 11, no surprise here, Sword and Shield base. So the Sword and Shield base booster box is incredibly expensive, $297. It is the second most expensive booster box from the Sword and Shield era, and the hits do not reflect that. This set is just older, there wasn't as much printed, and I don't think it's going to grow very much in the future. Even if you look at a 1-year graph of this set, pretty much no movement upwards. So, what's our investability ratio? Well, the sum of the top 7 hits is $150, and with the box price being $297, that gives us a value or investability ratio of 0.51. The top hit in the set is a Snorlax VMAX secret card, $50 for that card in a near mint condition on TCG Player. So there is really no reason to open up a box of Sword and Shield base. You will not get your value back, pretty much guaranteed across the board. And because of that, it's the second worst investment in the Sword and Shield era. We've made it to the top 10, but that doesn't really mean much when the next set is Rebel Clash. Another really poor set in terms of value for a box price. The booster box price right now is $214. Which is crazy that it's up there with sets like Lost Origin, Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, considering that the sum of the top 7 hits is $148. That gives you a value ratio of 0.69, no giggities. The top hit in the set is a $44 Boss's Orders, and the second place hit in the set is a $23 Boss's Orders. Not much to chase in this set, not worth an investment. At number 9, we have the Chonky Boy himself and Vivid Voltage. This booster box is the cheapest one we've seen so far, and it's $138. So that's still below MSRP for is this 4 years old? Jesus Christ. Your return on investment in this set if you invested on release was really, really bad. And the sum of the top 7 hits is $175. Finally, we have a set where the sum of the top 7 hits beats out the actual booster box price. But unfortunately, that doesn't give us a great value ratio. It's still only 1.27. The top hit in the set, of course, is the Pikachu VMAX Rainbow card, but there's no depth to this set, and the second hit is a $12 Pokemon Center Lady. Number 8 is Spicy, and I guarantee you, most of you guys are not thinking that this set is going to be 8th place. In 8th place, we have Brilliant Stars. I know, it's shocking, but the Brilliant Stars booster box costs $179 today, and the sum of the top 7 hits in the set is $357. That gives us a value ratio of 1.99. That is significantly better than all of the sets before it, and I think it makes this much more investable than any of those. And I think investing at this price is not a bad move, but as you'll see later, there are some much better options. But what this set also suffers from, similar to Vivid Voltage, is a lack of depth. You have the Charizard V Alt Art, which is $161, and then second, you have a Charizard V-Star Rainbow card at $53, so a massive drop, but then beyond that, you have some $30 and $20 cards. That lack of depth is hurting this set, and that's why it's in number 8. Number 7, a set that I've been investing a good amount of money into, Silver Tempest. The Silver Tempest booster box price on the open market is $163, and the sum of the top 7 hits in the set is $327. That gives us a value ratio of 2.01, so barely beating out Brilliant Stars. Again, we suffer from a lack of depth here. You have the Lugia V Alt Art, which is an amazing card with an amazing price tag of $193. But in second, we have a Rayquaza VMAX from the Trainer Gallery at $39. And after that, there's no cards above $30 in this set. Now, I did want to make a note of this. If you bought this from the Pokemon Center, your price would be $144, so I also calculated the value ratio out for that, and that is 2.27, so significantly higher than the Brilliant Stars box if you can get it at MSRP. 6th place, we have Astral Radiance. The booster box price right now in the open market is $177, and the sum of the top 7 hits is $376. That gives us a value ratio of 2.12. Obviously, this set is carried by the Machamp V Alt Art with a price tag of $157, but this set does have some depth. Starmie V is $49, Origin Form Dialga and Origin Form Palkia both catch $40 and $41 price tags. And from there, we have 2 more alt arts with price tags above $30. Astral Radiance is definitely a sleeper set, and it's proving itself here. I know at this point you're wondering, where's Battle Styles? Why hasn't he mentioned it yet? Well, guess what? Cracking out our top 5, we have Battle Styles. With a booster box price of $136 and the sum of the top 7 hits at $385, we get a value ratio of 2.83. And at this point, I know you're thinking, alright, well, this video is garbage. Battle Styles is in 6th place, there's no reason it should be there. Thumbs down, I'm leaving. But wait, hear me out. The Tyranitar V Alt Art is $167 in a near mint condition. That's worth more than the Machamp V. Urshifu VMAX has a price tag of $74. I haven't heard anybody talk about this card, and when I saw the price tag while I was making this video, I was shocked that it was worth that much. And then we have another Urshifu Alt Art at $54. And then after that, the Empoleon V has a price tag of $39. So honestly, it's not a terrible set, and I think eventually people will come around to it and forget all the memes about how garbage it was and how it would never be anything, and take it for what it is, a decent set with a decent chase card. In 4th place, the set with my favorite chase card from the Sword and Shield era, we have Lost Origin. The booster box price is $196, and the sum of the top 7 hits is $634. That gives us a value ratio of 3.23. That is huge. And eventually, I think that the booster box price will creep up and match that top 7 value number at $600. So obviously, our number 1 hit is the Giratina V Alt Art at $381. Our second hit is an Aerodactyl V at $113. These 2 cards largely carry this set, as there aren't really any other chase cards, just some other ancillary hits. There's a Rotom V and a Pikachu VMAX card, both at $38, and from there, it just goes down. But with a value ratio of 3.23, I think this set is very investable, and I am very pleased with this. As supply starts to dry up, I think this set is going to go to the moon. Now we've entered our top 3. These are big sets with big chase cards and fairly expensive box prices. In 3rd place, we have Fusion Strike. To get a booster box, it would cost you $240, and the sum of the top 7 hits is $802. That gives us a value ratio of 3.3. This is pretty similar to Lost Origin, except the Fusion Strike booster box is $40 more expensive. The top hit in the set is Gengar VMAX at $306. In second, we have the Espeon VMAX Alt Art at $267. And our 3rd place hit is the Mew VMAX Alt Art at $95. After this, there isn't much depth. There's a couple alt arts, a couple Vs, but those top 3 hits are so big that they can carry this set. That value ratio is really good, and if you've been watching my videos, you know I've been pumping those Fusion Strike sleeve booster packs from the Pokemon Center, which I guess you can't really pump. The price is $3.99 regardless. But if you buy them from the Pokemon Center, you can get 36 packs for $144 when the value of the top 7 hits is $802. And now we've come to the top 2. Which set will be number 1? Well, I can tell you what it isn't. It isn't Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies takes second place with a booster box price of $646. And the sum of the top 7 hits is an insane $2,518. That gives us an insane value ratio of 3.90. It is bonkers to have a value ratio that high with a booster box price already above $600. That just goes to show how insanely good this set is. And for this set, I'm going to go down the entire list of the top 7 hits and their prices. At number 1, we have the Umbreon VMAX at $860. Number 2, we have the Rayquaza VMAX at $446. Number 3, we have the Leafeon VMAX at $340. Number 4, we have the Glaceon VMAX at $315. Number 5, we have Sylveon VMAX at $230. Number 6, the Umbreon V at $165. And finally, the Dragonite V at $162. Literally any of these cards would be a top chase card in any other set, but because it's Evolving Skies, $160 barely cracks the top 7. And now we come to number 1, with a value ratio of 3.92, it's Chilling Reign. The booster box price is $222, and the sum of the top 7 hits is $870. Where most of the other sets struggle, this set does not. Depth is the name of the game in Chilling Reign. The top chase card in this set is a Blaziken VMAX Alt Art at $340. In second, we have a Moltres V at $157. And in third, we have the Shadow Rider Calyrex at $116. And beyond the top 3, the rest of the hits stay above $60. This is because of the really strong Alt Art set in Chilling Reign, lots of really good cards including all of the Galarian birds. And even at a price tag of $222, Chilling Reign looks investable. I think it's heavily underrated and the chase cards are there. But I'm not done yapping just quite yet. Let's look at some older sets and look how their value ratios have turned out over time. Something we know about Pokemon sets is that over time, the booster box price gets disproportionately more expensive compared to the hits inside. So because of that, our value ratio is going to go down. And we see this across the board. And that's why having a high value ratio right now means it's super investable in the future, because there's such a big gap between the hit prices and the booster box price. So the booster box has so much room to grow. Now we're going to look at the number 1 set from the Sun and Moon era, Team Up. So a Team Up booster box right now costs $2,380. That is so insane. But the sum of the top 7 hits is only $1,865. I say only, that is huge. But when you compare to the box price, it's not quite that high. The value ratio is only 0.78. If Evolving Skies got to a value ratio of 0.78 and the price of the singles didn't move at all, we'd have a $3,000 box. Now let's look at another slightly more recent Sun and Moon set, Unified Minds. The booster box price is $688, and the sum of the top 7 hits is $806. $806, that number sounds pretty familiar. Well, it's pretty much exactly what Fusion Strike's value is. The only difference is Fusion Strike is $240 a box, while Unified Minds is $688 a box. And the only difference beyond that is time in the market. As time goes on, these booster boxes move up, and the ones with the best hits, well, they float to the top. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for sticking through this video and watching with me. If you guys like this video, I will do a sequel with Scarlet and Violet sets, and then I would do a sequel with special sets like Crown Zenith and 151. And if you made it to the end of the video, drop your favorite card from the XY era in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe out there.